Good morning, and happy Monday to all. This is Carla Thornton McLean jumping on before I start my work day. Start working. Jumping on some phones this morning. We've actually been going over reasons that hold us back from creating lasting change. A couple of months ago, we talked about 4 reasons why people make changes, first of all, in life. And that's reactive, responding to life changes. Proactive, a life change coming. A way to escape from something. Moving forward, meaning moving towards a purpose or a goal. Okay? But then we started talking about, I did a video and told you I was going to talk about the 8 reasons that actually hold us back from creating those lasting changes, okay? The very first video I went over with you all was the fear of rejection and judgment. If you have missed those videos, you can actually go back over to my business page and actually find those videos. Week 2 was fear of uncertainty and discomfort. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 3rd reason, stuck in habits and patterns. That's what we want to talk about today, okay? First of all, habits are hard to change because they're routine. What I mean by habits is, like I just got up this morning, Monday through Friday, it's routine to get up at a certain time to prepare for the day, before I start my day, before I start work. Routine, you get up, you don't even think about it, you take a shower, you take a bath, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you eat breakfast, you make your bed. In other words, it's routine and you don't even have to think about it. It's something that you do really without even thinking about it. So it's routine, meaning your brain has processed that because it's done it over and over again. So you don't really have to even think about it. You just do it, okay? Habits are on autopilot, if you will. Meaning doing something that we actually don't even think about doing. We just do them, what I actually just said, okay? Unfortunately, our brain doesn't discriminate between the good and the bad habits, okay? Once a habit has been established, it's hard to actually break that habit. Meaning, whether it's a good or bad habit, either or can be hard to break. Tips to breaking habits are patterns. So in other words, if we got a bad pattern or habit that we do, that we actually want to get rid of, because we're not talking about those positive habits. If you have positive habits, you want to keep those in your life, unless you just want to improve on them, and that's fine. But we're talking about those bad habits that we actually need to get away from. Like if one of the reasons why you're making those changes, reactive, responding to life changes, and you need to make a change. Proactive, a life-changing event is coming, having a baby, getting married, getting divorced. Could be several different things, okay, about being proactive. How you say getting ready to retire, starting school, embarking on college, okay, getting away from something, escaping, getting away from a domestic relationship, okay, getting away from some people that's not healthy for you, that you know you shouldn't be around. Creating that positive change, like moving forward. So if you want to move forward in life and you know there's a habit that you have, a bad habit that's holding you back, I want to go over some tips to break habits and patterns, okay, those negative ones. Create an awareness. First of all, how are you going to make that change if you're not even aware of it? And a lot of us do have bad routine habits that we just do without thinking about it. I hear a lot of people talking about, like with smoking. They're not even thinking about it. It's second nature to light up a cigarette, or I think the new thing that's in the vape, I think that's what they call it. In other words, it's just second nature to them, okay? Getting overwhelmed or stressed, and instead of dealing with the problem or the issue, taking to a bottle, taking to medication, or taking to drugs, or taking out on everyone else who hasn't caused the issue for you, okay? Several things that's unhealthy, if you will. So creating that awareness for yourself, because Yes, a loved one might even bring it to your attention to try to create that awareness for you. It's not going to actually do you any good if you don't listen. And then it's going to be up to you, even if you listen, to take the step to create the awareness for yourself to make that change, okay? What is the underlying reason for the negative, unhealthy habit? Okay, like I just said, if someone smokes, most of the time you talk to someone who smokes, they're going to say it calms their nerves. Okay, several different reasons. Okay, I'm not a smoker, so I couldn't tell you. But there is a reason, and most of the time I've heard them, it's got something to do with calming their nerves. Okay, that could be an underlying reason why they actually smoke. Being in a domestic relationship, a bad relationship, somebody might feel like that person is the breadwinner. I don't have enough money financially. I can't be out there on my own. But you're staying in a bad relationship that's unhealthy for you, okay? In other words, you need to find out what is the underlying reason for the negative, unhealthy habit and why you're actually staying in it, okay? That's where you actually need to start. So create that awareness for yourself. Ask yourself that question. Another example, mindless eating, comfort when you're feeling down. Some of us do that. Actually, when I was younger, I wouldn't actually eat. I wasn't a big eater in the first place, but then if I had a bad habit, if I did get upset, sometimes I just wouldn't eat at all, which is not good. Drinking to be social, still right today, not like a drinker like I used to when I was younger, but I've always did it. But I know when they're saying it, drinking to be social, you might not realize, and when I was younger, I didn't realize it either. I mean, I don't have no problem. I like to sip even when I was younger. But I'm older now, and I thought about the awareness, especially if I went out to a nightclub or something. It was to be social, but to be able to be comfortable as well, because I didn't like crowds. I didn't realize it until I actually got older. So like I said, find that underlying issue why you're doing what you're doing. Smoking to settle your nerves. I just went over that one. The second tip, confront habit or pattern. In other words, you got to confront it. Deal with your problem, emotion, or feelings. In other words, you have to confront it. You can't ignore it, okay? Getting a counselor, therapy, a coach instead of ignoring or numbing your problems away. Once again, a lot of us can do it. We could be numbing it too, once again, by whether we're taking a drink, whether we're taking medication, whether we're just actually, some of us flat out just ignore it. And the thing about flat out ignoring that bad habit that's causing you to act that way, what people fail to realize is if you ignore it, it's going to come around again. But if you actually don't nip it in the bud, if they say, like I said, in other words, if you don't confront it, it's going to come back. And most likely you're going to react the same way you have been reacting, in a negative way that's unhealthy for you, instead in a positive way. But once you confront that emotion or feeling, the reason why when you do get upset or something upsets you, or the reason why you're doing that bad habit, you find out what the underlying issue is, then confront it, okay? If you can't do it alone, that's fine. That's the time when you need to reach out. Help from a loved one, a counselor, get into therapy, whether it's group therapy or individual therapy, coach or whatever. But once again, that depends on what your negative habit is. And that's going to depend on who you're actually going to reach out to, okay? When it comes to as far as professionally, you need to make sure you're reaching out to the right professional, okay? A person in that field. Third tip, invest in a journal. Writing down a commitment on paper makes it more real. By looking at your goals, they stay on track. In other words, there's some people, if you notice, you'll say, I have goals. I know I do better with a journal. This is what I want to do. But do you actually put the action behind it? If you write those goals down, and I wouldn't only say write them down, because I said in a journal, but are you looking at a journal every day? If you are, there's something different. Not writing in a journal if you're not looking at it, or putting it on sticky pads. I'm a sticky person, notepad person. Or even printing it out, writing on paper, some goals, and hanging it up somewhere in front of you where you see it every day. Maybe on your refrigerator, maybe on the mirror in the bathroom, somewhere in your room. But where you're actually going to see those goals every day. And what it is going to be that reminder, okay? In other words, what you need to be doing to create that lasting change in a positive way when you're trying to get over or get past or get rid of that bad habit that you have, okay? Or pattern, whatever it is, okay? Another tip, get an accountability partner. It's a powerful incentive, you guys. It helps you continue pushing and focusing on your goals. In other words, once again, accountability partner, you guys, can be anyone. It can be, a business partner. It could be a loved one, once again, from family members who share the same goals that you actually share. Once again, counselor or a coach or a friend, if you will. But once again, someone who is within your circle of that realm of whatever goal, meaning that person has already reached that goal or that person has similar goals, okay? And they can assist you, guide you, if you will, or even a friend, in other words, because that accountability person is going to, in other words, be checking in, and you're checking in either with that person or each other, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do to reach your goals, okay? Very, very powerful incentive, getting an accountability partner. Last tip, embrace your personal journey. We all know, you hear that saying, it can take up to 30 days or 90 days to create a new healthy, positive change, or a healthy change or a habit, whatever. This is very well dependent on the habit, your personality, level of stress, and the support system you have in place. I'm going to read that one again. It can take 30 to 90 days, and all this to make that positive change, okay? But it depends on the habit, first of all, that you're trying to get rid of, your personality, your keyword personality, level of stress. Everybody's level of stress is different, okay? And the support system you actually have in place, okay? Very, very important, you guys. You might want to jot those down, okay? Give yourself time to enjoy and embrace your journey. In other words, I'm going to want to give you the bonus because, like I said, a lot of us, I think, give up if we want to make a change and we're trying to do a positive change. Like, in other words, your goals is you want to lose some weight. I'll use it for example. But you lose the weight, or you don't lose the weight as fast as you want to, or you don't lose the weight where you want to be. And then a lot of people give up. Not good, you guys. Okay? A change takes time. And like I said, some people can do it within 30 days. Some take 90. Some people actually might take even longer. But I would say definitely after 3 months, anybody, an example, like I said, losing weight or even routine. Have you noticed when you start a new job or you do a new task? Pretty much I guarantee you after 90 days, even 30, but 90 days, definitely 3 months, 90 days, you look back to where when you first started and maybe a new job or even losing weight. And if you're being consistent, believe me, you're going to see those goals. You're going to see the change. And then you're going to say, well, I come a long way. In other words, and it's already routine for you to do it. You can probably do it without even thinking about it. That's a part of creating a positive change or creating something, but it takes time to do it. It doesn't happen overnight. And the thing is to remember, don't give up, though, before you reach your goal. A lot of people throw their hands up and they give up. You don't want to do that, okay? The bonus I want to tell you, allow yourself room for slip-backs or backtracking. For slips or backtracking, just what I was talking about. Don't give up. In other words, if you didn't reach that goal, you don't give up, okay? Or if you do start a new job or create a new task for yourself and you don't reach it, don't give up. You don't. In other words, if you backtrack, like somebody says, oh my God, I did it and I got off track for me, believe it happens to me all the time. It's human nature, you guys. But I will tell you this, I've noticed for myself within the last 2 years, and in one of my business, my health and wellness businesses, I know as far as the knowledge, and when you create that change, and once you get that knowledge, once again, your brain processes all that information, and once it's actually there, it's there, you guys. So even when you're not doing it, like I said, like working out, you started working out again, or like I said, your eating habits, please believe me, I'm a bread lover, you guys. I do not eat bread like I used to, but that came from knowledge, and that came a part of my brain realizing, and it was my mom who said it. She said, baby, I love bread too. And you know, when it gets in your body and it processes, it turns into sugar. I had no clue, you guys. My mother told me that. Broke my heart. But because I am now knowledgeable of it, it's always there in my brain now. So in other words, even when I want to, because my brain knows now, it's like, that's okay. I'll pass it and I don't miss it. In other words, and that's a part of the 30-day healthcare challenge and our products that helps you kick those what they call cravings as well. Okay, but once again, you got to understand, been in the business 2 years now, and I just finished the 30-day challenge, but I've done it 4 different times. Okay, so that tells you once again, and most of the time when I do my 30-day challenge is every 6 months. Okay, but that still tells you, even if it's every 6 months, because I'm doing it every 6 months, the knowledge in my body and your brain is taking all that in. Okay, so it's actually helping you, and we all are work in progress, you guys. You have to remember that. Okay, but it works. So allow yourself that room for those slips or those backtracking. They are triggers, which are full information telling you what your stressors are and what is pushing you off good intentions you have for yourself. Telling you what you might need to change in your life in order to stay on track. In other words, what that bonus means, in other words, is when you have those triggers, if you will, like I said, for me, I know what actually throw me off. I'm a Libra. Okay, so mine is scale, being balanced. It's something I've actually gotten better with, but believe me, if my scale is thrown off just a little bit, not in harmony, not balanced, those are my stressors. Those are my triggers. Meaning anything within my circle. Meaning it could be a loved one, a significant one, could be my children, could be my grandbabies, could be my mother. Certain things or certain individuals that I don't mix well with, if you will. Negative people, evil people, unkind people. Don't do very well with those kind of people. Controlling people. But once again, I notice for me it's my stressors. Meaning if they're your triggers or your stressors, you have to be aware of that. And then how you're going to respond. You have to learn how to respond in a positive way. Because if you don't, believe me, those triggers, like I said, like a person like me, will throw me off to the point where just me, when I say throw, just everything is thrown off. Whether it affects my business, it affects me working out, it affects eating habits. It can affect a lot of things in your life, but you have to know what your stressors and your triggers are. So in other words, if you're working out and something throws you off, okay, or you're trying to change your eating habits, some people say, okay, I want to do the 30-day challenge, but they don't make it all the way through the 30-day challenge. Pay attention, create that awareness. What was that stressor? What was that trigger that made me stop to where I didn't complete it? And please believe me, you guys, if you do not create that awareness for your stressors and triggers, it'll continue to happen to you. And believe it or not, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, it actually can be individuals that's in your circle that can cause that for you. Okay? And it could be a job that you know that you don't need to be at. It could be that you know it's not your purpose in life and you should be doing more. But what happens, or then sometimes we even settle, because you could be around individuals, or even that negative Nancy, if you will, your own mind telling you can't do that. Or you're around individuals that's not doing anything in life. Are they telling you, are they laughing at you? No, you can't do that. What? Are you crazy? Because there are some individuals in life that will transfer that fear onto you. They're telling you that because they're scared to do it. So once again, that bonus, allow yourself some slip-ups, goes backtracking. But when you do, even if you have to get by yourself, go somewhere immediately, jot it down. And sometimes when you're having a stress or trigger, you might be in a negative emotion state of mind. And you can't jot it down because you're too upset right now. But once you calm down, if you're able to, jot it down. What was that trigger? What was that stressor? That's where you start. That is your starting point. If you don't know, how are you going to change? Okay? So, quick recap, you guys. Been on here for a while. So this was the third video in regards to 8 reasons that hold us back from creating lasting change. The third video was stuck in habits and patterns, okay? The tips to break whatever that negative pattern or habit is. The first one actually was, the tip was to create that awareness. You got to create awareness for yourself, okay? Confront that habit or pattern. Invest in a journal, or invest in a coach, invest in a therapist, someone, a counselor, someone's going to be able to help you, okay? If you can't do it alone, get an accountability partner. Powerful incentive, you guys, hands down. And the last one, embrace your personal journey. Your journey is never, ever going to be the same as someone else's. Something else I would say is another tip too, don't stop comparing yourself. Your life is not somebody else's life. We're all uniquely individuals. So your life is not going to be the same as someone else's, okay? Once again, if you are wanting to do something in life, have a purpose, or trying to reach a goal, find an individual or get around individuals that have similar goals that's already reached that goal. But when you're doing that, that's not saying compare yourself. That means if that person's already reached the goal you're trying to get, they can actually help you get there, okay? Not getting with them or being around them to compare yourself. Doesn't work that way. Your journey is not going to be their journey, okay? Hope everyone's having a wonderful and blessed Monday thus far. It's early, not even 11 o'clock. I'm getting ready to go to work. So I'll be checking with you all again later on this week, probably halfway through the week. My business partner and I'll be going over with you all in regards to this weekend coming up, the monthly Zoom event. But I'll be getting with you all, I say midweek, and actually be talking to you all about that. Take care. Stay blessed. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.